Gents, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing okay. In today's video, I wanted to discuss the importance of curating a life full of high quality people. Look, there's an expression that you are the product of the 5 people that are closest to you in your life. And this can be a really good thing. If you're surrounded by a bunch or a group of people who are just quality people, high performers, good energy, good work ethic, industrious, supportive, the type of people that will pick you up when you're down, you're sound, you're locked in for life, you're okay. But on the flip side, it can be really damaging if you're around 5 negative people or a bunch of negative people who are unambitious, unsupportive of your ambition, like tearing other people down to make themselves feel better. This can damage your life. It can damage your ascension towards your goals. It really can. And it's crucial that, especially as soon as you hear this, as soon as you really understand this, that you act quick. Because ideally you hear this message when you're a younger guy, and you can start to curate that environment. And you can start to get rid of some of the bad weeds, get rid of some of the bad seeds that are in your garden, basically. Because what happens is, over time, having people like that, having bad people within your environment, having bad people within your close circle becomes harder and harder to shake off. And a lot of people will find themselves in their 40s, 50s and 60s with friends that are really close to them that they don't really like, because they never were brave enough or bold enough to actually establish that distance or enforce some boundaries. So they've got friends that are close to them on paper, but they're not good friends, they're not supportive friends. They don't really act in their best interests, and it's just a miserable existence. So ask yourself, are the people that I currently have around me, within my close circle, are the people that I currently share information with and put my trust in, aiding my life? Are they helping me to grow? Do they reward my trust? Do they give what I give them back to me? And if you're starting to ask these questions in your head and you're starting to go, well, actually, no. Actually, most of those questions I don't think my current friends or my current people in my close circle are doing for me. Now's the time to really think about taking some action and finding some new people and finding some new friends. And this doesn't necessarily need to just be your friends. This can be, unfortunately, in some instances, family. Now look, you can't go and find new family in terms of blood, but if you're finding yourself having a really tough, difficult time with certain family members, they mistreat you, they don't respect you, they laugh at your ambition, they seemingly want you to fail, they just make your life miserable, I'd always try and let them know first and foremost how unhappy you are. But 9 times out of 10, when things get that bad, these people don't care. They know that they don't make you feel good. They know that they make your life miserable. They don't care, but they think, he's family, he's not going to do anything, he's just going to sit there like a good little boy and take it. Well, I say, look, unless it's your mum and dad and maybe your brothers or your sisters, you don't need to fight for it. If it's a cousin who's mistreating you, a cousin who makes you feel crap when they're in your life, get them out of your life. And look, sometimes even close family, you need to be bold enough and brave enough to say, no, it doesn't work for me. Look, I'm always an advocate for trying to rescue family relationships as much as you can, because you get one family at the end of the day. But ultimately, some people don't feel connected to their family. They're connected by blood, but apart from that, there's not much else. And it doesn't really matter who it is, friends, family. If people are making your life miserable and they're not helping you to grow and they're actively trying to hinder your growth, you got to put yourself first. You got to get these people out of your life. If you don't feel comfortable doing it completely, I completely understand. Look, family's family, as I said, but establish some distance. Establish some clear boundaries. You put your cards on the table. You tell them what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. You tell them what you will tolerate, but you tell them also what you will not tolerate. It's so important to curate the environment and set the tone that you want going forward for the rest of your life. This extends beyond friends and family. This is also your girlfriend, right? The women that you have in your life. You need to be extra careful with this. Set the tone that you want to continue. Don't be compensating in your partner when it comes to key characteristics of the person that you want to spend ideally your life with, because you are afraid to be on your own, because you want company. No. Have high standards. Have high standards for the people that you want in your life. Equally have them for yourself. It doesn't work if you're expecting something of others that you are not willing to do yourself. You must hold yourself to an extremely high standard. But I presume if we're having this conversation and you're watching this far, you already do. It is now time to set the same high standards for everybody else. They are lucky to be in your life. You're not just lucky to have them, they are lucky to have you. They are lucky to be in your presence. They are lucky to have the time with you that they have, and you need to start seeing yourself in this way. Don't develop a God complex. A lot of guys will do that, particularly within the self-improvement YouTube red pill space. A lot of guys are in their own way, and they've developed this complex where they think they are just the savior of men. I'm just trying to talk to you for real. I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. Don't get in your own way. But equally, the point of today's video, don't let other people get in your way. So if they're not bringing you up, let them go. If they're bringing you down, let them go. You want people in your close environment who are going to help you to become happier, healthier, more wealthy, more confident, more skilled, better in every single aspect of your life. If people are just not bringing anything to the table and you're showing up for them and you're being a good friend for them and you're supporting them, it's a one-way street. So this might hurt, but have a look at your current friendships. Have a look at the people that you're spending your time with. Are they unambitious? Are they lazy? Do they not really bring much to your life? Do they not really give you what you give them? Ultimately, gentlemen, you have one life. You're born, you live, you die. The live part's important. And who you spend your time with during that live part will determine the quality of the living part of your life. You live with the wrong people and you roll with the wrong people and you hang about with the wrong people, it can be a miserable existence. And there can be a lot of unfulfilled potential. But if you hang with the right people, people that push you, people that send you a message saying, right, let's go for a run today. And the last thing you want to do is go for a run and get the cardio in, but you go because that person sent you a message. And they were pushing you, they were trying to motivate you. Those sorts of people are the people that you want in your life. They're going to make you grow. They're going to push you out of your comfort zone. They're going to keep you accountable. You want people like that in your life. You want people who have big goals as well in your life. People that will try and keep themselves accountable, but also keep you accountable. They're the people you want. Not people who are just happy wasting time. Not people that are just happy doing things that in the long run will ruin them and bringing you along for the journey. No. It's tough because there's going to be a while where you're trying to change, you're trying to grow, you're trying to become better, and you haven't got the friends yet that are with you on the way. You haven't got the friends yet that are on the same page as you. Chris Williamson and Alex Hormozy call this the lonely chapter, where you're just on your own, you're working hard, you're solo, you've had to readdress your friendships, you've had to readdress your relationships, you've had to distance yourself from family members, and you're just progressing, but progressing alone. And there's going to be a while where it's like that. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to bullshit you. But this too shall pass. And at some point or another, when you're on your way, you are going to bump into like-minded individuals who see life the same way as you. They're as ambitious as you are, and they're looking for brotherhood. Okay? They're looking for another guy on the same page as them, who wants to grow, who wants to push himself, who wants more from life. As I said, you're born, you live, you die. Live with the right people. Live with people that aren't time wasters. Live with people who are ambitious. Live with people who want the most they can possibly get from life. And not in a selfish way, but to ensure that when their time is up and they go upstairs and they meet the big man gives them a head nod because they did everything that they were supposed to do. Don't allow it to be that there are a bunch of unticked boxes when it's all said and done. And a big part of that has nothing to do with you. A big part of that has to do with who you surround yourself with. Because as I say, we are humans. We will conform to our environments and the people around us in some way or another. Now, there might be some people who are just so mentally strong. They can just do it on their own and they can do it solo. I get that, but that's a miserable life as well. And I feel like you have a responsibility to yourself to find a tribe, to find people that are going to help you. Maybe you're one of those guys who can just do it on his own, run for miles and miles and miles, day after day after day after day. But I'd say even that guy is going to have a more fulfilling life if he has a couple of friends that are willing to do it with him a couple of times a week. A couple of friends that are willing to get in the mud with him. And that's the next step. The next step for you to get to where you want to get to is having a look at your current group of friends, having a look at the people that are in your close circle, people that you're spending time with, and doing a reshuffle. And really finding out who's a real one and who's not. If they're not adding, they are subtracting. If they're not bringing value to your life, they're not helping you in any way, and you're doing all of that for them, then you need to kick them to the curb and you need to go and find some people that will reciprocate the same energy. Life's too short. No more wasting time. Anyway, if you took some value from this video, consider hitting the like button and consider subscribing to the channel for much more from me. As always, guys, thank you for your time and attention, and I'll see you in the next one.